Video diaries are just my shit now. I go to write things in my journal and then I think, why would I write it down when I can share it with the whole world? Not that everything needs to be shared with the whole world, but I think it's better off out there than in here. It's Christmas morning, Christmas late morning. It's 11, almost 11:30. And this is my very first Christmas being fully alone. I think I've always been with friends or families, or even when I worked out of town, I had roommates and coworkers, and today it's just me and Blue, so technically I'm not fully alone, but I've decorated the house, and we've got our electric fireplace, and I lit some candles, and Mom sent me a stocking, me and my little sister, whether it's over the phone or on video chat or in person. We open stockings together every year, and that's something that my mom continues to do for us, even though last year she said it was going to be the last stocking, and she sent me one out here this year, and I'm so thankful for that. And it's not really about the gifts, it's about this tradition that me and my little sister developed. It's one of these areas where her and I come together and indulge in Christmas and the spirit and sisterly love, and share that experience. And so I feel really grateful for that, and I noticed, though, I'm in this, like, the energy feels kind of dense today. It feels kind of funny. Like, I woke up this morning. It's funny because I notice it's like I've awakened to truth, but I'm still playing the old programs. And so I woke up this morning knowing I had a couple of gifts to open, and thank you so much, Mom, for that. That brought me like closer to home in a way, and gave me that sense of, what that little inner child craves, because it's how I grew up, right? Was with Santa, with presents, and I'm not saying it as much I would. So I'm opening gifts, and this is kind of what's funny, is I'm opening gifts almost with the expectation to have gifts, just because it's like ingrained, and it's the program, right? It's the program I've been running since I was a kid, because of how I grew up in Western society, and Santa, blah blah blah. And I know this part of my neck is bothering me, and maybe that's why I need to talk, because it's like right throat chakra, and I feel like there's a little rash. But as I'm like opening up these gifts, it was more about just like being in the presence with my little sister. And I can see, like, talking to my mom, and we do this, like, I do this pretend, like, socks, this is amazing, thank you. And it's funny because I can feel like genuinely grateful for what I'm receiving and be like, oh, that is so sweet and thankful. But there's this like over dramatic response that I fake. And then they're over the phone, we're on video chat, and they, meaning my stepdad and my mom, and And my stepdad's doing the exact same thing. He goes, "Oh," and I'm not saying it's not genuine, but it is like a more theatrical, enhanced. And I don't know what that is, but it's almost like what comes through for me is like this seeking for validation unconsciously. We seek validation through receiving and giving. And maybe, I'm not saying that's why my mom gives gifts, but I think there is this unconscious expectation we hold of like needing to eccentric, or you know what I mean, dramatize our response so that they feel received, or that they feel, and I could look at my mom and say, wow, thank you so much. I don't have to be like, oh my gosh, look at these, that's so amazing. And it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? And anyway, so I'm just witnessing these things, like I got one of those little baby bottles of Bailey's and was like, yeah, I'll have Bailey's in my tea. I never drink. I'm not a drinker. You watch me identify as not a drinker. Haha. I drink very seldomly, you could say. I don't even fully know what that word means, but and same thing, like I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna wake and bake this morning, I'm gonna smoke a joint. And then I was like uncomfortably stoned, and then like my tummy was hurting from this Bailey's and the tea I had, and I was just like, why is my holiday tradition like program, why is my holiday program, my Christmas program, like neglecting is neglecting myself. Like I'm literally neglecting what I know is like my comfort levels, and like what my body feels good with, like alcohol. I can literally feel alcohol lower my like energetic frequency. Like it just doesn't feel good in my body. And to each their own, like no judgment. If it floats your boat, then that's great, but it just doesn't float my boat. It doesn't, like it just doesn't make me feel good. But I still did it because I was like, what the heck, it's Christmas. And like same with smoking weed, and I'm like, what the heck, it's Christmas. And then I'm like, this is actually not enjoyable for me. And so it's been this beautiful contrasting experience this morning where I'm like recognizing like, oh, these programs actually aren't in alignment at all. And even like I got up and was just in my PJs and skipped yoga and kind of did like a crappy like in like like non like my meditation this morning was totally not, like I kind of just let myself go. I'm like, oh, whatever, it's Christmas. Like have a chocolate bar. And then I feel like absolute shit. And I'm like, why? What about this program that's running? Like, what about it? Like, why do I do it if it makes me feel awful? And it's just like a holiday tradition is to like neglect yourself. And I say that because I think a lot of us break our rules around these seasons, and it really helps us realize why we have like these rules or these boundaries within ourselves in the first place. And that actually when we like break a rule and check our phone before our meditation, or like turn it off sleepy mode, and you know what I mean, it's actually it's a disservice to us. Therefore we're actually not giving ourselves like the love and compassion and like gift when we choose. And that being said, like yeah, I had a cookie for breakfast. It was like a protein cookie with natural sugars, and I love sweets, so I was like, yeah, and that made me feel good. But then Like, I'm still dealing with like an aching tummy because I have so much crap in my belly. And I'm about to eat like a mac and cheese. Dairy isn't the greatest for me either. So I'm just like, what? Like, why am I running this program? Why am I running this program? And why do I keep running the program even though I'm consciously aware that I don't want to run the program? And the program is not, it doesn't make me feel good, you know? And so there's a vision I had this morning. It was like, you know, when like TikTok that you could put two of you on the same screen. It was like one of me is like running around fucking up my life and self-sabotaging, and then there's the other me that's like running around trying to clean up the self-sabotaging asshole. And I'm like, why can't I find the one in the middle that is not ruining her life and not like running around chasing the me that's ruining my life, you know, or self-sabotaging or whatever you want to call it. It's not necessarily ruining my life, but it's not, it's like, yeah, you know. And I don't want to overwater my flowers anymore. I don't want to like underwater them or overwater them. I just want to consistently find the water, and I'm talking about me, I'm the flower, that ouch, my fingers are going numb from holding my phone. That isn't killing it, isn't killing me, isn't killing or like harming my life, and then I don't have to like run around and undo the harmful parts, the harmful saboteur that's running around sabotaging. And so I'm gonna have to create one of those, what do you call them, TikTok videos, where I'm running around chasing me. Yeah, and so I'm just having this like beautiful contrasting experience with a rotten feeling in my tummy now. And you know, like I had cake for breakfast. It's like a healthier cake, but it was just like cake and cookie. It was like, how much, you know? So, and just like watching, I put on like some Christmas movies, and that's great. Like, I'm all for Christmas movies, but I've probably watched like every single Christmas movie on both Netflix and Prime, and that's just because I have had a lot of time off, and I've been feeling really, really like low energy and isolating and just like super restful. And I would say that's one of the old programs that I'm still running, is that like rest is watching movies, when it actually is like the opposite, because it's consuming energy. And I actually don't feel rested when I watch them, but I still do them. Anyways, so these things are coming to light today, and so maybe that's the beautiful of like Christ Mass is, you know, the reason we put a tree in the corner of our living room is to light up that is a symbolism of the light of Christ, even though Christmas isn't actually Jesus's real birthday. But you know what I mean? We have these unconscious traditions that we don't even know what they actually symbolize, just because we like the pretty lights and the decorations. And I love gold and red, like decorating my house with red and gold. I love it, but I won't, you know, and we only do it once a year because it would take away the beauty of it. It would take away the specialness of it, because, you know, and it's kind of just like chocolate. It's kind of just like sweets and treats. If we let ourselves indulge in it all the time, it's not special. It's not as well embraced, because we immerse in it. We immerse in sugar. We immerse in, or whatever it is, right? Sweets I relate to a lot, because I know it's not just this time of year, it's like all the time. I'm in this indulgent, like, can't control my sugar intakes. And I don't buy it, but it comes to me, it finds me, and then I can't say no. And it's like, you know, putting alcohol in front of an alcoholic for me. Me and candy is just, Mm. But what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Oh, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Or Merry Ho Ho. I say Merry Ho Ho because I don't know what you're celebrating, but whatever it is, Merry Ho Ho. That's my cue. Bye for now.